this club means everything to the people. So it's our job to show that it means absolutely everything for us as well. It's a lot about emotion, the intensity, how the supporters live. Where did you ever hear a better message than "You'll never walk alone"? It's the most beautiful song in the world. Everybody feels it, everybody loves it, and everybody gets the message. In your darkest moments, you are not alone. I love that. We are Liverpool. And that means we have to entertain the people, and we have to show all the desire, to show all the love for the game. We will all be together soon. There will be a moment for us. For now, tell the world, we are Liverpool, champions of England.
When you
Liverpool are champions
through a storm.
Hello and welcome back to the ACSC podcast. This is now episode 12, a special episode. Well, it's special because Liverpool are Premier League champions. I will just introduce my co-host Charles. He does usually introduce these, so I'll just pass over to him now.
Hello guys, obviously welcome back to the ACSC podcast. I'm probably the usual voice you hear opening the episodes, but like Anil said, this is a very special episode probably for him as well.
Yeah.
Being a Liverpool fan all his life and now seeing Liverpool actually crowned Premier League champions. Obviously not champions for the first time, but under the name of the Premier League. This is your first ever title, and obviously as you can see from the background, there's memorabilia of Liverpool everywhere. But yeah, like we said, this is going to be a very special episode all about Liverpool from the start really of going back to 2015 really, when Klopp took over
yeah,
and
of course,
what they've now become. So I'll let you, obviously this episode will be mainly led by Dill because he's a Liverpool fan, so I'll let him kick it off.
Yeah, thanks Charles. Again, like we say, it is I don't usually do the intro, but like we kind of thought it'd be a nice touch because it's a Liverpool kind of episode. Just talking about the success, and the success hasn't just been over the last season, like Charles just mentioned as well. More so since Jurgen Klopp took over, and it's a lot involved, and it's around him as well. I mean, a lot of success has come since he's come in, which started back in 2015-16. I think in October 2015, he obviously took over from Brendan Rodgers, who obviously got sacked. And I think we were I think it was the year before we nearly won the title.
Was that the year of Suarez?
Exactly, yeah. And then the following year, obviously we had a really bad start up until I think it went to October. So Brendan Rodgers had a couple of months, didn't quite manage to get the team going, and obviously we were lucky. I'd say we were quite lucky to get Jurgen Klopp because he was still a big name with Borussia Dortmund at the time. Obviously, he won 2 titles there.
Was that not the season where he was really struggling?
That was, correct.
They were very close to going down.
They were. I think they finished like 13th or something.
I think they pulled it back, but even you see some teams have it where they struggle at the start, like Chelsea when they won it. Then they were like 16th.
Yeah, I think there was. Yeah, there was.
Dortmund, I think, were in like March. They were like 17th, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I think they did it. As far as I'm aware, it was just he ran down his contract.
Yeah,
and then he obviously had a big farewell because obviously he was the last actual manager to win a title in the German league. I think Bayern have won the last 8 years. Yeah, and he won back to back. I think it was 2011 and 2012 he won the 2 titles.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we say, this episode will just be reflecting on the success that's been building and been coming, especially with so many near failures that Liverpool have had.
Yeah. And
to kind of turn it into success, which obviously showed a lot of mentality.
Yeah.
We'll just touch on obviously the season we've just had. We at the moment on 86 points, 31 games gone. Still 21 points to play for, so mathematically could finish on 107 points.
That'll be the record, wouldn't it?
The record right now is 100, which Man City hold.
I see.
So
I can't see any way you don't really beat.
Yeah, I think we'll have to. I think if we win like 4 of the last 7 or something like that, and a draw 1 or 2, we'll get that record. An amazing year. Obviously, there were key moments in the season as well. I think the record stands at the moment. We've played 31, won 28, drew 2, and lost just the 1 game, which was to Watford. Which there's a smile because the invincible record, was obviously.
Also, we was out. This was obviously before the whole pandemic side of things. We were out with my girlfriend's. I think it would have been around my girlfriend's party and that, and we were out with Milton Keynes, staying up, going through for pinks.
Oh, really? Okay.
And me and my mate was about to watch the game, and he went, "What do you think today?" He was going to go. He went like 4-0 up, and I went, "Watford will win this game."
Yeah.
And he went, "Nah, you want chatting?" And I was like, "No, I just had a feeling." And Well, I think we're walking to Sainsbury's. He went, they're 2-0 up, and I was like, I told you. Like,
Yeah.
I had a feeling that you could do it, but if there was a team to do it, I thought it could have been this side. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
True. Yeah. Of course.
it's a hard thing to say. I think I was chatting to my uncle about it. So I think the way you guys played this year, there's not a side that has so much unity.
Yeah.
And you watch, they play,
Correct.
they love each other. Like, even the scenes watching it.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
When they were celebrating,
Considering where we are, the situation
Exactly.
we're in now, you should still
it's the
see.
unity side of things, and every player worship. We won't say worship, but they get on so well with each other.
Yes.
There's that bond.
Yeah.
Whereas, from my opinion, looking at the way Arsenal is, there's nothing there. Like you've got
Yeah.
the little cliques of players.
You've got a couple of little.
But you look at
groups.
the way you guys
Yeah.
are. They're on that pitch and they work and die for each other, and
Yeah.
that's the way winners are made.
Yeah, correct. I mean, I think as well, like you say, I mean, apart from potentially maybe the Leicester City season when they won the league,
Yeah.
where there wasn't like a build up to it, if you like. It was just an incredible year they had, and everyone else was kind of dropped back. I'm not taking anything away from Leicester, but they were amazing, but it wasn't like a sustained level of success.
No,
and then
obviously
it
they
came
had
that was
that,
building
but
up.
there was obviously their story behind it. Obviously, surviving relegation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
season
true. There's
before,
that
and
story.
There was always
yeah.
that story.
Yeah,
there,
of course.
But you look at it, and to me, you guys have deserved it so much in this competition. Obviously, watching it, ambitious, like you're saying about Klopp. I was gutted we could never get him because I wanted
Yeah,
him.
because I think you guys were. I'm not sure if you're fully linked. There was always rumours in some sort of
Yeah, well,
newspapers and stuff, but I don't think you were.
It just sums up Arsenal as a club.
Yeah,
And
you
look,
missed out on not just managers, players.
Players.
Exactly.
Like we've been linked with Pep Guardiola for so many years when he left, and you get used to hearing these names. And obviously, him coming to you, I said he
Yeah.
will turn you into a club.
Yeah.
And I think I was watching a podcast I like, is True Geordie podcast. I don't know if
Yes,
guys
you
ever
actually
seen
mentioned
it.
this to me. Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen, give him a watch. He's a brilliant podcast to watch. But he was saying about it is obviously the gap being bridged. Obviously, you've had world class managers for a long time. Even some names, obviously, like when you had Rafa,
Yes.
Brendan Rodgers, you can't dismay. He's
No,
a
exactly.
brilliant manager. Even
yeah.
like Kenny Dalglish took over for a while.
Yeah, that was
Roy
short
Hudson
term.
we won't mention.
No, that one never happened. No,
But you was always, I think the problem is, like Lawrence touched on it, his co-host, was that since probably about the late 90s, you've always had that expectation of not being a top club anymore.
correct.
I think when Klopp's come in, he said, let's not think like that.
Yeah, correct.
Let's not bridge that gap. Let's go above it and let teams taste us. And you've done that.
Yeah,
now.
exactly
Like,
that. And I think more than anything as well, it was backing the manager,
Yeah.
trusting the manager. 'Cause initially, obviously, Jurgen Klopp came in, and I remember his very first press conference. Me and my dad were actually downstairs in the living room.
Yeah.
Sky Sports News on. He was in his all black. He had
Yeah.
a black suit. He had no tie. He had a black shirt on.
Yeah.
Almost did a U because he doesn't like really wearing suits. He's mentioned it many times before. He's a very tracksuit kind of man.
Oh, yeah, it's obvious. to see.
And on that interview, press conference, he was saying, he was, talking about what he could do and what he could bring to the club, as every manager does. But notably, he did say near the end of it, he said, I don't want to put too much pressure onto it, but I'd like to think in 4 years' time, we'd have a title. And that, for me, straight when I heard that, I was thinking, personally, I know 8 managers before him have tried and failed.
Yeah.
But 8 managers before him never said we are going to win the title, or,
No.
or
It was
openly
always
came
about
out.
bridging that gap.
Exactly.
Whereas Klopp come in out the door and went, look, we're going to do this.
Exactly, but he didn't say.
Was it 5 years he managed it? Was it 5?
So basically, because this is his 5th season,
It's-
so effectively, it's
yeah.
into his 5th season, yeah. But like I say, the title. But I think he said we'll have one title. Maybe he was referring to the Premier League, but he obviously said a title. And then obviously, it was sustained, the success level period. I mean, even in terms of recruitment, we didn't, apart from obviously the notable signings of Virgil van Dijk, I think that was in January 18, I think it was, it might be 17, I'm not sure on that. And obviously Alisson, which was another notable signing.
Yeah.
Apart from them two quite massive signings, Liverpool have not been known to go and get loads of 60 million signings, or a bit like how Man City have spent. We have done that. In fact, I did see an image yesterday. I don't know if you saw it as well. I'll just get it up quickly as well. Bear with me one moment. It was a picture saying that, here we go. So, money spent by title winners. I'll just show you guys on there as well. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Look at the money spent this season of Premier League champions. We spent
8
8 million. And if you look at the notables in Man City last year, 60, the year
200,
before.
Yeah. I think, like you're saying, there's so many things we will touch on throughout the episode. So
Yeah.
I think the big thing that's like you're saying there is you never made massive signings. Obviously,
No.
Van Dijk was a massive one,
Correct.
but you didn't spend money just for the sake of it.
No,
you
no.
spent where it was needed.
Correct, yeah.
You always said you needed a centre back because obviously Lovren and
Matip initially, and we had Skirtle was
Skirtle's
kind
a
of
bit-
going out.
But you've always
yeah.
had centre back. That was your weak spot.
Mhm.
You targeted Van Dijk at Southampton. who a lot of people didn't really. I would say he was always sort of underrated at Southampton.
Yeah. I think a lot of people were saying when the price came out,
70
75 million,
yeah.
people were, and rightly so, I get it, because we bought so many from Southampton previously,
yeah.
and they haven't always worked, let's be honest. I mean, only like, Sadio Mane obviously has, Virgil van Dijk has, but apart from that, Ricky Lambert, okay, he was like almost like a swan song.
Swan song, yeah.
That's what it was like for him.
Yeah.
But Dejan Lovren, yeah, he's done okay, he's been here for years now. Who else have we had from Southampton? Adam Lallana, who initially came in and was very good. In fact, when he came in Jurgen Klopp's first season, was the most pivotal player in our squad.
He's a very good squad player.
Very good, exactly that. But wasn't the like game changer.
No.
Like. And I think Nathaniel Klein we bought from there as well.
Yeah.
Who's obviously now leaving actually, and well, he'll be leaving now. His contract expired. In fact, it is today. Yeah. So we've had it's been mixed bags.
Yeah.
And then when you heard 75 million, even if people saw him, and even when I saw him, I was thinking it's a very different kind of centre back. He was a ball player. He was very athletic, very physically a presence.
Yeah.
And a lot of people questioned it. Rightly so. I mean, they had the right to question it, but I think it became apparent quite quickly within about a year that 75 million price tag went. I didn't hear anyone else lips after that. It was quite.
Well, I think the big thing is obviously everyone. Do you think he's been as good this year? Because I've seen a lot of people pick him up, etc. I don't know if that's because he had such a good season last year.
Yeah.
But I think he has been a very good rock for you still. At the back. But I think Joe Gomez has helped him out a lot this year. I think this year, what I've noticed as well, there's been 3-4 games. It almost felt like Joe Gomez actually pulled Van Dijk out of it, and that's credit to Joe Gomez, who I don't think gets even much recognition at all from not just Liverpool fans, England fans. Yeah.
I mean, for the future, maybe. I mean, you probably would say he probably would be one of our future centre backs.
Yeah.
But a lot of people would probably not even question or think about that. But he has been a big part. I think
he has helped out, and that's my side of it from looking at it as a outsider. You look at Van Dijk this year. I don't think he has been as defensively solid as he was.
Yeah. As last year. Yeah.
But he's been enough to say, partly with Joe Gomez. Obviously, Alisson. Huge impact on you guys. Obviously, I think if we're going back to where this all started, the journey properly would have been the Champions League final. You lost.
So we lost. So obviously last year we obviously won the Champions League final, beating Tottenham in the Champions League final. Year before that we went to the final and lost 3-1 to Real Madrid.
And I think that's where all really the big journey kicked on from that moment. That's when you then signed Alisson, I believe.
Yeah.
Obviously after the. No offence to Karius, an absolute shocking performance.
Oh, it was the worst. It was actually almost sad to see in the end.
Because he suffered really badly from that since.
He did. I think in fact, because that was the end of the season, obviously, Champions League final. The next season, there was always a talk coming out saying we're going to back him initially. And then Danny Ward, do you remember Danny Ward? Number 2? So I think the rumours were coming out. I think it was more of a transfer ploy, if you like, to say, no, we're going to give him a chance. But really, I think Jurgen Klopp and the transfer committee's plan really was, we need a number 1. Yeah. If they come out and say it, everyone's going to bump their price up 20 million on their goal.
So that's what Alisson, obviously.
But the plan, I think his
Alisson
career...
Alisson,
exactly. Alisson came in for...
The big debate is who's the better keeper. I think a lot of people is Alisson or Ederson this year. I think Alisson, what he does is...
Well, Alisson missed the first... I think what people forget as well, the first 8 Premier League games this season. Adrian was good. Yeah, exactly. He was brilliant, wasn't he? I mean, he obviously he won in the Super Cup final against Chelsea, the penalty shootout. Yeah. Again, who would have thought a player who was released by West Ham the year before
went on to win
he went to Betis and was doing a bit of training over pre-season, thinking where's his next move is. Got a call from Liverpool
and took it.
And then now you see him winning. What's Liverpool won so far, and he'll get a medal because he's played so many.
And obviously, like that progression, obviously your signings. I think it's underrated how good of an impact you've had with compared to the times when you had like Ricky Lambert, etc. up front.
Balotelli and obviously...
But now, questionable, your last was Salah coming in. The impact Salah's had on you guys.
In fact, I'll be honest, exactly. If you look at our last few signings, obviously the most notable, recent, is Takumi Minamino. Yeah. But he's obviously, let's be honest, he's still integrating into the side. I still see him...
You can't fault the money though, 8 million for a player like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like the pressure's not there. Yeah. And obviously we've had Andy Robertson, which I think, we mentioned this not long ago. We were talking about how City went down, didn't they?
Yeah.
And we went out and bought, we needed a left back. Alberto Moreno went to, I think it was Sevilla. Yeah, it was Sevilla. I think initially, was it? No, it was a permanent deal. So we were always going to maybe go and get a left back. And everyone was thinking there were some bigger names out there, notably of Rafa Guerrero at Borussia Dortmund. Yeah. It was linked.
Grimaldo, was he?
I think, I saw a few rumours. Everyone, yeah. The Grimaldos, I think that's Benfica, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it was a Scotsman, Andy Robertson, 8 million. went down with Hull, and everyone was a bit like, even myself was thinking, okay, well, that's not really showing any ambition. But what we've known over the years is you've got to trust the committee, and the manager saw something in him, and not just the manager.
I think this is the main thing, and I think sort of linking it into high sport with Arsenal. I think this is the thing you got to do. Is a lot of players expect, or fans expect, you to go out and spend 80 million on every player. You can't do that.
No, you can't do that. Of course you can't do that.
You've got to literally look at the scouting side of things. Is like you're saying, Klopp must have saw something in Robertson that he liked and knew with the right coaching, you can turn an average player
into a world class
beater.
That's exactly what he is now, isn't it?
You guys now, you've got the best left back in the world.
Yeah.
I would say arguably.
Yeah. I'm not going to say this because, you know, it might come across biased, so I'd like to hear what Charles thinks. In this
Arguably
position.
up there with...
Would you say Trent's the best right back in the world?
I would say he is, yes.
Okay.
I think in different aspects.
Yeah, obviously
talking,
you've got
not
different
definitive, but I
styles.
think overall what he brings to the game,
Yeah.
there is no one who can do what he does at right back.
Yeah.
I think left back, there's two I'd have that, but it would be Robertson and now Alphonso Davies.
Yeah.
And as a left back,
yeah, he's brilliant, isn't he?
don't get me wrong, he's only been doing it for a year.
Yeah.
But what he has done for Bayern Munich.
Yeah. He's frightening going forward. He's frightening.
Unreal. And I think, but saying that you would never have put Andy Robertson in that bracket.
No, you wouldn't.
There's so many, I don't see so many things going around Twitter, obviously going back from his journey from being released from the Celtic, going to Hearts, I want to say.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Hearts. Yeah.
Going from there, journeying up through the Scottish Second Division, etc., to now becoming a Premier League winner, Champions League winner. Like,
yeah.
That journey, I think the other thing is, Alexander-Arnold, is he 20?
21 now.
He's got a Champions League to his name.
Yeah.
He's got a Premier League to his name.
Yeah, he's got UEFA Super Cup. He's got a club world champion.
If he stays at you guys, he could become a legend.
He could win. He could have. He could, and I'm like I said, I don't want to put the pressure on, but he could have at least 10 honours.
Easily. I think that's the thing is your squad now, and it's like, where do you take it next? Obviously, there's many key moments we'll discuss in the sense of where you think, and I'll let you kickstart that off. I'll say this season.
Yeah,
key
in fact, key moments this season. Just a quick one as well. This episode it would be probably about maybe an hour special potentially. Yeah. We'll just try and round up everything we can because it's been such a successful year. Try not to get emotional because when we initially won the title, I think I gave you a little. We were speaking on text, weren't we? We actually had in fact, we had an Insta Live.
We had an Insta Live at half time.
Half time of the Chelsea Man City game. And at that moment, I think Chelsea were 1-0 up. Yeah. 1-0 up, yeah. So it was a bit like.
Done that.
And then Kevin De Bruyne scored an absolutely stunning free kick. And then obviously and then City were on top. I mean, Raheem Sterling hit the post. But then obviously the controversial moment. Fernandinho did slap it out. Did you see the moment?
Yeah.
He literally slapped it out off the line. Yeah. Got rightfully sent off. And then when Willian scored it hit me. I'll be honest with you. I still don't really think it's sunk in as much. I'll be honest. And
I did enjoy the Snapchats I woke up to that night.
Okay, yeah, that's something that's not been actually mentioned or come out anyway. I was going mental in my bedroom. I had like maybe Liverpool. I think one of these tops around my head.
Yeah, you were loving it.
I was going mental, like literally. Try not to make too much noise. Mum and Dad are downstairs, you know. But like I say, it's just. But the key moments this season that we'll always touch on. We'll probably mention 4 or 5 games, which were almost like turning points. Yeah. We'll start off initially with I'll go with the. Man City, Liverpool Man City at Anfield, which was the first meeting in the league this season. And obviously we play them again on Thursday, the 2nd of July, which is a big game in the way that they'll give us a Pep confirmed there'll be a guard of honour, which is good. I think nice to see. And I think the rest of the teams this season, I think Arsenal probably will give one as well. I think, do we play you? Because I think most of the teams have said they will.
Have we got to play you?
Yeah, you do. You play us at the Emirates.
Do we have to?
Well, you never know. You've done well over the season at the Emirates against us. In all fairness,
yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, Man City, Liverpool. That was a moment where last season when we played them and we finished at 97.
Was it 1-1 that game?
Last season it was.
Yeah.
No. Sorry, last season it was 0-0.
Was it 0-0?
And Riyad Mahrez missed a penalty.
Yes.
That was last season. And last year they beat us at their ground. I think they beat us 2-1. They were 2 up. Then we scored a goal, and then obviously the John Stones moment off the line. Yeah. So they beat us away, and at home we drew with them. But this year, that game at Anfield, which I think was quite early in the season, it might have been October. I'm not 100% sure on that. And we beat them 3-1. Yeah. Fabinho scored that long ranger. Mo Salah scored a header, and Sadio Mane I think scored a header as well. I think Bernardo got the consolation for City. Yeah. That was a key moment because in terms of how close it was last season, City finished on 98 points, us 97. We just knew that those games between Liverpool and City could decide the title this year. Yeah. And effectively, that was the bragging rights initially for Liverpool.
Like I said, it's the big key moments there.
Massive, huge.
What cost you last season was the results to City.
Exactly that. It was
And
only the game
getting
of City.
that 3-1 win.
Yeah.
In more than anything, as an outsider point, it sort of showed to me you mean business this
Yeah,
year.
and I think you actually went for the return game on Thursday. I think you've gone with the Liverpool win again, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've gone 3-1 in our predictions that are actually on our Insta Live as well, Insta page actually.
Yeah.
I actually went for a draw because I think we might be a bit reserved, if you like. But I do see where he's coming from in terms of us winning. But yeah, that was a very key moment.
Yeah.
Liverpool were absolutely brilliant. I mean, we were so rampant. We just felt, I know City were the champions at the time, obviously. We just felt like we wanted it more in that game.
I think the also aspect is it's always harder to defend your title.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll have that. We'll have that next
at,
season. So we'll see how that
you look
plays
at the
out.
league. I think United are they the last team to defend it when did they win 3 in a row under Fergie?
Well,
when we were
City
at school.
City obviously won it twice in a
Yes.
row, but 3 in a row, yeah, was United. That was
In
at least 10, 12 years ago,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
It's so hard to defend your title nowadays.
I think it's because of the quality of the teams around you, isn't it? And
The
everyone's
Premier
got
League,
money.
every team can beat each other now.
Yeah, of course they can.
That's the aspect, and I think, like you said, that's a key moment I saw that game. I think one that stood out to me would have been the Wolves game.
Oh, yeah. Was that the one at Wolves or at Anfield? Do you remember?
Well, you had both were tough, but I think the one
Both
at
were tough,
Anfield,
Anfield where we won, I think it was 1-0 or
Yeah.
2-1. I think it was 1-0 we won.
yeah,
And obviously Wolves had a goal that was ruled out.
which should never have
Yeah,
been
it
ruled
was
out.
so. It was really. I'll be honest with you. I thought the benefit of the doubt should be given to the Wolves attacker, and I think Neto scored, and it was a crazy celebration of the VAR. I think I don't even remember what part of the body it was. But
I remember I was watching that game, and I don't. This is the whole thing. If you haven't seen the episode, we've done an episode about VAR sort of things. What do you define as clear and obvious?
Yeah.
I'm not being funny. How the hell they define that as clear and obvious?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
But that was a
exactly.
turning point.
Yeah.
You got the result there.
Yeah, because that could have been a draw. I mean, Wolves were brilliant. In fact, that was because we've won another incredible stat every single home game this season in the league. 16 out of 16. I think if we win 2 more, it's the most home wins in the season. I think Chelsea, when they won it, I'm not
Yeah,
sure
it
when
was
they won like 17 or 18 at home.
Yeah.
I think they conceded like 15 in the whole season, which is incredible. But we won every home game, and that game was the toughest game. And I've watched every Liverpool game this season. At home to Wolves, they were so good. They played to us like how we play against everyone else.
Yeah.
They were on to us. There were 2-3 attacking one player. We were almost a bit taken aback, like, oh God, somebody's coming to
Coming
our
at us.
ground. And Wolves have had an amazing season. And I actually hope they make top 4, which they still can. They've obviously won every game since their restart. But that was the hardest game, and we came through it.
Yeah.
Another moment was Leicester City at home at Anfield.
Yep.
1-1 going into the 94th minute.
Okay.
I think it was Divock Origi. Kasper Schmeichel came out. Origi kind of took around him, and I think it was Soyuncu who stepped on his ankle.
Yeah.
Penalty given, 94th minute. Cool as you like, James Milner took it, sent the keeper the wrong way, and we won 2-1.
Yep.
Key moments like that where 2 points could have been dropped, like the Wolves game, 2 points could have been dropped.
Yep.
We came through it. And I think we've got the most goals in the last 15 minutes out of everyone in the season this year.
Yes, I've seen that.
So the mentality of the team, not just this year, over the years, but mainly this year, has just been one way or another. I think there's been like a luck moment, like we said, the Wolves game where it wasn't really offside. They just thought, whatever happens, we need to win, and we're going to win. We're going to find a way, we're going to win. Another moment I'd like to talk about this season was Aston Villa away.
Yeah.
We were 1-0 down to Villa, but in that game as well, I don't know if you remember the Firmino goal, which was given at armpit or whatever. Do you remember? And that again was so like, I don't even know how they gave that.
Yeah.
And obviously with the frustration of not having a goal given, Aston Villa's goal was actually checked for offside as well, but it was given. They were 1-0 up going into the 87th minute.
Was this Mane when he?
Mane winner, yes.
Yeah.
Robertson, so Mane crossed it in. I think it was Mane who crossed it in for the first goal. Robertson at the back post and scored in the 88th minute to make it 1-1. Many teams would go, all right, we know what, we've avoided defeat, we'll take the draw. 93rd minute corner came in, Mane flicked it on and scored the winner.
Yeah.
2 goals in the last 5 minutes to win the game and get 3 points where it looked like, and for 87 minutes, Liverpool didn't really look threatening. We looked like a game. We looked like a team that was frustrated because of the decision that went against us.
Yeah.
But the mentality was there. You do not give up until the last kick. The ball is kicked.
Moment, I think an avid person that would have been Alex Ferguson at United.
Yeah, exactly. Like Fergie time, as they say. Exactly.
You don't stop.
No.
And I think that's a key thing you guys have got in. I think another key moment, I think we discussed a little bit, for me, even though it was a loss, was the Watford game.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, actually,
I think the few games before, I think you were very lacklustre. You look sort of.
I was just going to say
jagged.
that because you were saying earlier in the episode, you said about the invincible thing, and you said that we're the team that you thought probably could have done it.
Yeah.
But building up to that game, as
But
you
even
say,
like I say, building up to it, you looked lacklustre, you wasn't on it, and
No.
that's why I had that feeling that
Yeah.
the loss was coming.
yeah,
And as soon as you lost that game, you then hit another gear.
yeah, exactly.
I think in a way you needed to
Almost
lose.
like almost because it was about 3-4 games before that where we just gave through 1-0, 2-1.
You were getting them little
and
it
it
was
was
champion victories, but I think with that loss coming in, it took so much pressure off you guys, not having to think we can go invincible.
Yeah,
blah, blah.
exactly.
You then had free reign, and you took.
And
the
then
game
we
to another
started. Yeah,
level.
exactly. We did exactly that. And that you're right. That was a massive key moment because we lost the game.
Yeah.
And it was almost a negative turned into a positive.
Yeah, exactly.
Another moment I'd talk about, and this is the moment where I actually deep down thought we could. Because I know every year, it's famously said about Liverpool fan, it's going to be our year next year.
Yeah.
And if anyone sees my Twitter account the last week, every single day, I am reminding people.
Your name's Champions of England.
Every single. Oh yeah, I've changed my name as well. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, the moment where I thought, you know what, it could probably happen. I just kept it to myself. Didn't really brag about it every day. Think I'm going to win the league. Was when we beat Manchester United at Anfield.
Yeah.
When we were 1-up, Virgil van Dijk's got that header in the first half, dominated the game, absolutely dominated it. Martial missed a very key chance. Gary Neville, the famous, where you see him in the commentators box, who went crazy, missed it, skied it, and then Alisson with a long ball and Mo Salah ran through and scored to make it 2-0. And Alisson ran the length of the field, didn't he?
Yeah,
to
yeah.
celebrate.
Yep.
I think not just for the fans, because actually at the end of that game, the people in the Kop end, the fans in the Kop end, were singing "We're going to win the league," and that was the first time at Anfield that was sung up until then. Obviously, after that, we were singing it every game. But that was the first moment where I think the fans thought, I think the gap was about 14, 15 points as well then. So it was opening up ever more.
More. Yeah.
Exactly. And then we obviously won 2-0. Mo Salah scored the second. Alisson came forward. And that probably felt, from a player's perspective, especially with Alisson running through, if you saw the celebration when Salah scored, the shirt came off. All the players will celebrate with him. I think for them as well, it was like, this was the hurdle. Because the Man U game as well, United, who, the rivalry with United has always been forevermore. And to win that game and to open that gap was, for me, in that moment, and obviously my brother being a Man United fan, obviously all of us being Liverpool fans, it was a bittersweet. It was very it was a bragging rights moment as well. Yeah. But it felt to me like, this is going to be it. We're going to win it this year because the gap was bigger than it ever has been. Yeah. And then obviously Jurgen Klopp came out on his interviews, and many interviews since the title has been won. He came out and said he thought, maybe it's the managers, they're always coy about certain things.
Oh yeah, of course.
And he came out and said that the game against the most recent game before lockdown, when we beat, I'm not sure who we beat, I can't remember who we beat now. We beat someone that last weekend, and United lost. United beat City. Remember McTominay scored at long range?
Oh, who did you play?
I can't remember who we beat.
I remember I was out watching that game in Oxford, watching that.
With United City, and United won 2-0, wasn't it? Yeah, 2-0.
United looked incredible.
They were brilliant. Again, they were pressing. It felt like it was a proper derby, as it should be. Yeah. It was a last game, I believe, with the crowds in the stadium. Yeah. And it was, United wanted it a lot more. And as they lost, City lost, we won. Gap opened up to, I think, over 20 points. Yeah. That's when Jurgen Klopp actually said he then thought that was big enough. That is on. Exactly, it's on. Maybe before that he probably thought that, but he said it, that was a moment.
They've got to be coy about it.
But yeah, there were the key moments. Obviously, we had the Aston Villa moment. We had the Manchester United moment, personally for me. The Leicester City moment. The Man City game. The first game. And then, as you said, the Wolves, probably both games. Yeah. Which were the hardest games. But like you said, we have rode our luck sometime. I mean, there's a couple of times where we won 2-1 or 1-0.
But to me, that is a sign of a championship winning side.
Exactly.
You think of, bring that to Arsenal, everyone remembers 1-0 to the Arsenal. Yeah. They're the games.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost a famous chart now,
You don't have to go out and win every game 6-7.
18 goals Danny Ings has got now. So I think it must be 21 in all competitions.
So you don't have to think you have to go out and win 5-6-1 every game. If your team is so, I think I can't remember stats on that, defence wins championships or something like that. Yeah. If you build a world-class defence, you look at ours back in the day. Yeah. Of
who was it? You had Tony Adams.
Tony Adams.
And who was next? Was it Sol Campbell?
Sol Campbell's around it. You have, and
these are great.
If you look at things like that, you have teams, defensive winners, obviously in the middle, Patrick Vieira and that. For you now, emulate. Look at your side. You've built the world-class defence. Yeah. Alisson. We've got a spine, if you like. You've got Alisson, Arnold, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson. Who would you replace in that back line? Okay, this is something I would like to touch on as well. I've seen Liverpool being linked with
Kalidou Koulibaly, and it's been and it's been linked. I know Man City have been apparently they're quite
I
close
think
to
it's
him now.
£72.2 million fee.
He probably agreed with Man City, but I've seen him being linked. He's 29, and he apparently would cost, like you said, over 70 million. Definitely goes away from the way we sign players. We don't buy players that are that age bracket, and especially not for that price. So I completely rubbished it straight away. And then I thought to myself, that back line, and I'm not. You might come across bias. I wouldn't change a single player in the back four. Absolutely no one. Even Joe Gomez, the way I see it, he's 23, 24 now? Yeah, 23. He is learning from the best defender in the world.
But before his injury, he was already looking brilliant.
Brilliant, and then the injury kind of set him back. Yeah,
bit,
exactly.
But now he's like, what I was saying for me is that impact. He sort of carried Van Dijk a certain game, so he's already making that impact. I think, like you're saying there, from an outside point of view, I wouldn't change anyone in your back line.
Yeah.
Your midfield, I don't know.
Did you know one thing about Gomez quickly? Let's touch on there as well. 4 months under Brendan Rodgers, he lost as many games as he's in 4.5 years with Klopp. Unbelievable stat, and I read this yesterday.
I think some of the other stats. Obviously,
there's so many.
You've lost 2 games in 2 years, and you've won 4 trophies.
4 trophies. It's ridiculous. Yeah, but what you said about midfield, if you look at the midfield, and that's always been.
I think Henderson's a very underrated player.
Yeah,
I think
the
there's
leader.
a whole debate I could have about him. I think people always should he be player of the year. I don't think he should.
Yeah,
but you can't underestimate what he brings for Liverpool. He is that workhorse in your midfield that when you don't have him, I think. He didn't play in the Watford game, did he? And he lost.
No, well, he was injured for a couple of games, and
that's where you look
lost,
ropey.
and we looked ropey. Exactly.
Take him out of the midfield. He's the workhorse.
I think I'd actually like to spend a few minutes with Jordan Henderson, and I think he deserves it because I'm actually getting a bit emotional by it because Jordan Henderson's a player that you probably, if anyone goes through my Twitter or anyone even knows me quite well, there's been stick by myself for him.
Oh, massively.
Back in school, exactly, because he's been at Liverpool for
years.
I think it's been almost 8 years now. He's been at Liverpool. It's been a long time. And I read a story about him yesterday. At 16, he was about to be released by Sunderland's academy.
Okay.
I mean, when you're about to sign a professional contract, Sunderland weren't going to offer him one. I think eventually they did.
Yeah.
And then another key moment was then obviously he got his move. He obviously played well for Sunderland. Got his £16 million move to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Massive move, coming a Tyneside boy, proper Sunderland through and through boy, coming to play for Liverpool. Obviously, initially it was just going to be a Liverpool squad player because Steven Gerrard was still the captain and the main man. It was, I'm not sure which deadline day it was. It was a January deadline day. We wanted Clint Dempsey throughout the whole summer. This whole window.
Yeah.
And Brendan Rodgers, very publicly known, he wanted Dempsey at all cost. We didn't really have the funds. We offered to swap Henderson for Dempsey and about 7-8 million.
Right.
So we were prepared to pay a bit of fee and bring in Dempsey, an aging Dempsey for a young Henderson. Yeah. Rodgers didn't rate him at all. Henderson turned around and said, no, look, I want to fight for my place here. Yeah. You might not rate me right now, but I'm willing to work hard. The deal for Dempsey fell through. We never got Clint Dempsey. I think he eventually went to Tottenham, didn't he? Did he play for Tottenham? I'm sure he played for Tottenham.
Yes.
Yeah, he got him moved to Tottenham. I don't think it was much of a success, but that fell through. Jordan Henderson worked his socks off. Started becoming a bit more of a player in our team. Not again, nowhere near like a leader or a main player, but started playing a bit more in the 11. Playing next to Steven Gerrard, and he was playing a bit more in the midfield. And Coutinho, in fact, Gerrard, Henderson, Coutinho. That was kind of the midfield. Gerrard retired, obviously, when he retired in 2014, I think it was, or 15. We then had the people were thinking, well, you're never going to have Steven Gerrard. And no one will ever be Steven Gerrard. I just clear that up as well. And then the captaincy, people saying there were some defenders in the team at the time. We didn't really think, who can you give it to? The captaincy was given to Jordan Henderson. Yeah. And many people are thinking, this is a guy who's not very and I'll be honest with you, I still don't think Jordan Henderson is brilliant technically as a footballer.
He's not the best technical player, but there's no fault in what he can do.
There's absolutely no fault in that.
Another thing, a bit Geordie, they do a show called The Kickoff.
Okay.
And on that, they were having the whole debate around Jordan Henderson about should he be, because I think all the pundits that say he should be player of the year. I don't think he should be player of the year if you're going by what an aspect to me. If you're player of the year, it's down to your technical ability and what you've done as a year.
I agree. I do
agree.
But
what Henderson brings to your club, leadership, that side of things, I think we've spoke about before when the whole Joe Gomez and
Sterling England situation, yeah.
He stepped in and solved that. He didn't have to because he's not England captain, but he done it because he's a leader, etc. And people look up to him. And I think everything else he just brings to you, I think he epitomises what Liverpool Football Club is about.
I think you said it there. I don't think there's touched too much on that. Henderson, I mean, like you were saying as well, with the Sterling Gomez situation, Harry Kane was made England captain, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And notably, you'd think the captain would be, and the manager would be the guys to intervene and deal with
Yeah.
it. Henderson, to be fair to him, he actually knew Sterling from obviously initially with Liverpool, and obviously he plays with Gomez. So he probably felt towards himself, he probably thought, this is almost my responsibility now to step in and solve it, and he did. I think he obviously initially got got the two together, sorted it out, and there was an apology made mainly by Raheem Sterling. He came out and apologised. Gomez kept it very low key, and credit to him. He was really humble about the situation. I think there was a massive scar on his under his eye as well. It was quite a big, like a scratch or whatever. Yeah. He kept it very low key. He almost, in fact, he went to the gaffer, Gareth Southgate, and said, "Don't send him home. Don't drop him." But Gareth Southgate said, "No, I'm going to send him home for this game." Yeah. And he didn't play him for a game or two, did he?
It was a game.
It was a game. One game he sat out, exactly, which was maybe the right decision. A lot of people said no, we shouldn't be, but that's a whole other debate. But Henderson, that showed his leadership qualities. If you look at the Liverpool current squad now, you got some big personalities. Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, Firmino. They're the personalities. Virgil van Dijk, Alisson.
Is Mane that big of a personality though? Because to me, he comes across as a very quiet, guy.
In fact, what I mean by I just kind of correct myself on that. I think what I mean by that is of the impact of a player.
Yeah, okay.
In terms of like a personality off the pitch, leader, maybe not.
No.
But he's very. In fact, the story I hear about Sadio Mane is he's always in these local mosques.
Yeah.
He's always doing donations to his local mosque. He's always in his religious outfits and praying in the mosque, giving donations. Yeah. Praying with like the imam in the imam's like the person that leads the prayers in the mosque. Yeah. He's always with that person in the mosque. And he's low key, keeps himself to himself, very humble, a bit like Mo Salah as well, but he's a bit more out there because he's the Egyptian king. Like they worship him.
I've never seen a player come up the rise Mo Salah.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Literally, he was not worshipped in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Well, I was in Egypt last. Where are we now? We're in January. This year, January, I was in Egypt. Right. Where did I go to? I went to Hurghada.
Okay.
Yeah, went with my family. And I had in fact, this one here, that Mo Salah shirt there. Obviously, you can't see it for the listeners, but the viewers can see that one. I had that shirt on, and I've got a picture I'll show you later on, Charles, as well, on my phone. Few fans, like just more fans, came up to me like, Mo Salah, Mo Salah. To me, remember I look nothing like Mo Salah. Came up to me like, Mo Salah, we'll take a photo, we'll take a photo of you. They literally got next to me, and I had my shirt on like backwards. They were stood next to me, like next to each other, and took a photo of me. And there was like 3-4 of them like, let's take a photo of you. Please come play football with us. Come play football with us. I kid you not, I've got photos of it. I've literally got photos of it. It was so overwhelming. And I sat there thinking, wow, he really is a god here. And then I was thinking, do they think I'm most? Like, I was so baffled.
This sort of links into the next thing I want to discuss, and I think you guys winning the league, I think it epitomises a lot more. Is the fact that for you guys, Liverpool, I think there's no other club in the Premier League that has such a good fan relationship.
Yeah, it's huge, isn't it?
And it's so personal to a lot of people. I think Tyson True again, I saw a bit. Is there like Lawrence is a diehard Liverpool fan. The last time he saw them win the league was '89. The year he was born was the year you guys won it.
So he didn't effectively actually see it.
No,
it was just,
so he's now seeing it's that build-up side of things, and it's so personal. So I think for me, like I got happy seeing you guys win the league for you.
Yeah, I was going to say you were very.
I've grown up with you all these years watching you see Liverpool through the hard times, through the hazard, and you've never seen that. Like, don't go. I was very young, but we've never had that expectation. But for you guys, you've always been that big club. So seeing that moment of you being so happy at winning it, it's so good to see because you have that, and I think that is what brings people to Liverpool. I think you have a very good. I think from a neutral point of view, people see Liverpool as this fan-based club. Yeah. For me, I think you have the best atmosphere. I think.
Yeah. Credit to you. Yeah.
A lot
say that. A lot do say that.
I would love to go to Anfield to watch a game because that relationship is very.
I think we'll make a trip. We'll both go and watch a game and just sink in the atmosphere.
But that rising. I think there's so much credit has gone on because obviously I was at university for a year and I've heard from Christian Persler,
who was our, I think it was, what was he? Was he CEO, chairman?
He's the chief CFO, I think it's the financial. Yeah. I sat down and had a special guest listen to him and hearing a lot of the stories about Gillette and Hicks and that side of things and how bad it was for you guys. It was awful, yeah. It's amazing to see the turnaround with the correct management.
Ownership, everything.
Backing your manager, how much of an impact you can go on and rise. And I think seeing it from my point of view, more than as an Arsenal fan, is like, we could be that.
Well, you can be that. That's the main thing in terms of, obviously, we'll just touch on a little bit on Arsenal and maybe Arteta, is that you can be that as long as you start getting the base right. You don't go out there and target. I think you were linked with Weghorst at Wolfsburg. You know, the striker.
Oh, yeah. Is he Dutch, isn't he?
Yeah, the Dutch striker.
Yeah.
You were linked with him, in fact, yesterday, 35 million. I'm not sure how credible it was. But yes,
35 million.
35 million for Wout Weghorst. I think that's his name.
Okay.
And apparently that could be something to link with if one of your either Laka or Alba leave. Bameyang. A bit surprised by it because he's a 6'4" target man. And a little bit surprised by it. But like I say, it might be it's rumours at the moment. But you need to back Arteta.
I think this is the main thing from my point of view. We back him. We've got the squad there. Obviously, since the lockdowns in, we've had probably the worst luck I've ever known to man. We've lost Leno.
Yeah.
We've lost Martinelli till the end of the season.
Yeah, of course you have. Yeah.
Saka went down injured. I thought that was it.
Mari's out for the season. Yeah.
Xhaka's now back.
Yeah.
I think it's a hard thing to see. Obviously, we're talking about Liverpool and that side of things, but there's so much to progression that I see so many similarities in that what you went through at the back end with Roy Hudson, Brendan Rodgers. We've got a chance now to make.
Well, it's almost like a blueprint that you can almost follow. Because we didn't have that as Liverpool. We had to make our own blueprint.
Yeah.
And we had to make it because there wasn't a team, for example, like City, yes, but let's be honest, the Arab owners came and they spent millions.
Yeah.
But we had to almost make it. And now Arsenal can look at Liverpool, look at the model, look at the way financially we've bought players over the years, but we've also sold loads of players. If you look at the net spend, it's hardly anything.
Yeah.
Absolutely hardly anything. It was Coutinho effectively funded the Alisson Van Dijk move.
Yeah.
So really there wasn't much out of the owner's pocket. So it was maybe 10 million, if that. But for Arsenal, potentially, if you back the manager, but you've got to remember, it's not just the manager. You've got to remember what's up there. You know, because we've got like Michael Edwards, Mike Gordon and Jurgen Klopp sit on the transfer committee.
Yeah.
And Jurgen Klopp came out and said it yesterday. He said that those three guys get on so well. And he was talking about the initial first days of the meeting and stuff. And he said since the first day, they had this connection where we want to make this club great again.
Yeah.
And in your club at the moment, where obviously you've got Arteta, and I'm very sure Arteta is very passionate about Arsenal, especially being an ex-player, you know, working under a great manager with Pep. You know, I like Arteta, I must admit. I like him as a manager. I even liked him as a player. Nothing not to like about him. However, he has to be backed. He has to have a close relationship with whoever runs the transfer, because that's very important. Whoever runs the day-to-day business.
The thing is, a lot of people don't know. I don't know.
I don't even know who
changed so
it.
much. I know we brought in Sven Midtjylland from Dortmund.
Okay.
We brought him. He was obviously the mastermind who worked very well with Klopp.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
He brought in the likes of Lewandowski, Goetze, Royce. We brought him in. He left after a year because he didn't get the backing he wanted and he didn't get on.
Well, doesn't that tell you that there's a problem?
He's gone back to Germany. I don't know who he's gone to.
Okay.
But we've changed so much, and obviously I know Adu is obviously ex-player. He's now. I think he's the director.
He's a director.
Of football.
Yeah, he's a director.
So I know he worked very closely to get the Martinelli deal done and the Pablo Mari deal.
Okay.
So I know he's got a lot of impact there, and I think that hopefully this is the way it's going forward. Is that him and Arteta are meant to have quite a good relationship.
Okay.
So if that sort of bond can be formed there, I think there's a lot of progress. But I know it all stems down to obviously like they're saying the ownership, which is Stan Kroenke, and I don't want to get too much. I could talk for hours about him. But I know Josh is involved a lot now. Yeah, which is his son, and I think.
But he seems a bit more invested, doesn't he?
He does because Josh has grew up in England. He knows how big football, or as they call it, we have American soccer. Is here. And how much the fans mean, and obviously I think... And
you've got a big fan base. And you're a massive club. I'd say the big three clubs in England, by history as well, is United, Liverpool, Arsenal. It always has been. In terms of titles, in terms of trophies, in terms of fans, they're the big three.
But we've got the most toxic fan base now.
Well, now you do. And
I think this is the worry. As much as I love Arteta and I want to succeed, I am frightened to see the fact that I don't want it to become a situation where he has no bit, then the banners start coming back out.
And then you get the Arteta out.
You need to back him. I'm telling you now, this is going to take 4 or 5 years.
Evidently. As you're going to see by us.
Even longer for us before. I think the fans have got to realise we're a mid-table club now.
Yeah. I think the sooner you accept that, the better it will be for you.
Because I think one of you guys had to go through that.
Of course we did. Yeah, I mean, in fact, initially, from Jurgen Klopp came in October, back to Liverpool, sorry, yes. Jurgen Klopp was assigned Liverpool manager October 2015. That first year, obviously Brendan Rodgers started the season off quite badly and lost his job. We finished 8th.
Yeah.
Liverpool's lowest ever finish ever in the season was 9th. So effectively,
So
straight away, people are thinking, Jurgen Klopp come in. He's only finished 8th. It's not done great.
Yeah, it's nothing special,
but they trusted him. The next year in the summer, they gave him a little bit of money and they obviously invested. We made 4th. Exactly. We made top 4 straight away. The year after that, we made top 4 again. I think we finished on 75 points and then 76 points.
Yeah.
The year after, again, that was 4th as well. I think that was the year Man City actually hit 100 points.
Yeah.
Year after that, which was obviously last season, we are on 97 points. So it's been progress every single season.
Yeah.
And 97 points would have won the title every single year in every single league, in every single world. Like every league in the world.
Apart from
the Premier League where Man City finished on 98 points.
Yeah.
And then obviously this year we look very likely, unless they take the eye off the ball, to overtake 97 points, which we did last year. So what that shows to me is obviously trust in the manager, backing, financially backing, and I think ultimately, Jurgen Klopp, he says it as well. He has the last say on transfers.
Oh yeah,
it should be a board and a committee should always draft up players, and they should all kind of have their input.
Yeah.
But if the manager's the last person goes, I'm not sure. That should be it. It should be not happening.
Yeah.
But if he goes, go on then, go and get him then. Because that's backing him. You're trusting him. He leads the team. He's the day in, day out training. Match day. The hour before kickoff, the big talk. He's the one doing that. So you've got to back him. And Liverpool, there's not been any proof to suggest otherwise.
No.
And for me, what it showed is over the last 4 years, the mentality of the team. I was in his first year as manager. Even though we finished 8th, he did take us to the. It was, I think, Carling Cup final back then. I think that was Carabao. We lost to Man City. I think it was on penalty shootout. We lost to them. And that year, we also went to the Europa League final.
I remember that.
That was the year where we had that massive game with Dortmund as well. Do you remember?
Yes, I remember that game.
We were 3-1 down.
Lovren scored the winner.
Lovren scored the winner, yes. We also beat United in the round before.
Yeah.
So it was a great run. It was a hard game. It was almost like a Champions League run.
Yeah. Lost
to Sevilla in the final. Sturridge scored early and we lost 3-1. We were poor in the second half. So that already, we lost 2 finals in that year. But the people were thinking, right, Jurgen Klopp's first season, he's taken us to 2 finals.
Yeah.
The following year, we didn't obviously go any finals or anything, but we finished 4th. So we made Champions League, which was the main objective.
Goal, yeah.
Again, the year after, which was, again, top 4 again, steady progress. I think Van Dijk was coming in initially as well. The squad was building, and the trust was given to Jurgen. Last year, obviously, that year we went to the Champions League final, and obviously Loris Karius had his moment where the whole game where he just dropped the ball. It was such a calamity of errors, and Real Madrid won 3-1, and that was a Champions League final, which we haven't been for about 12 years. I think the last time was Milan, and in 07, which we lost that as well. But that was the 3rd final in Jurgen Klopp's couple of years in, and he lost them all. Lost them all. So the mentality, people started to question and say, is he a specialist in failure? Like Arsenal's been labelled by Mourinho, famously specialist in failure, or is Jurgen just a man that?
Mourinho now?
Well, yeah. Well, he's at Tottenham, and is obviously, I'm not sure if he's the right fit, but that's a whole other episode, isn't it? Really.
A specialist in failure.
But yeah, like we said, in terms of Jurgen Klopp, is that he obviously lost those finals, but he then came back the next year. Last year, the game against Barcelona was the most incredible game when we obviously won 4-0. Corner taken quickly, it's famous as it is, and we won. We obviously beat Spurs. Were there for the occasion, really. They weren't. I mean, they had their moments. Alisson was brilliant, and it just showed. The year before, keeper lost us the final. Yeah. Year after, the keeper won us the final. Yeah. A world-class keeper. We won 2-0. Won the Champions League, but still, the year we won that Champions League, heartbreak. And let's be honest, as Liverpool fans, the one we've always wanted is the Premier League. Yeah. And even we won the Champions League, and we saw the parade. I'm sure we all saw the scene. It was unbelievable. It was emotional. It was incredible. But we was thinking, yes, we won this. Yes, we've got a 6th European title, but we haven't won the league yet. Jurgen Klopp came back the next year, especially after we finished on 97 points. We came back, and we have literally, and I think you'd say as well, we've blown away the league. Yeah. The mentality of the team, and I was watching it, and I got very emotional actually when Jurgen Klopp done the Sky interview straight after we won the league. I think we all saw it, and he literally was saying it was just like, sorry, I can't do this, and he went. He said, sorry guys, take care, bye. And he said he's never been that emotional because he gets it. A German manager who, when he
I think obviously him being Dortmund manager for so long is he understands. I think that everyone knows it. Dortmund and you have such a
it's a really weird like love story almost, isn't it?
everyone knows Klopp. I think people doesn't give him the recognition he deserves. But Klopp, on a personal level, you can relate to him.
Yeah, of course you can.
He's such a down-to-earth person. He's the perfect man for you guys, and I think he's fitted and took you guys to that next level like we've had for so long now.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, you're spot on in saying that. I think a lot of it, and I do keep mentioning Jurgen Klopp, because I do think the success has predominantly come from that man.
100%.
You know, if Alisson came out and spoke about it yesterday, every single player speaks so highly of him, and they always almost say him as a dad figure, a father figure. And we similar with Sir Alex Ferguson. A lot of Man United players.
But I think it's in a different way.
But in a different way, yeah. He's in a way
I think,
like
a lot of people feared Fergie.
yes, yeah. In fact, yeah. There you go. That's spot on. Yeah.
Whereas I think with Klopp, you have this unconditional love with him.
Yeah.
But you also know the boundary that
if you have a bad game, he's gonna have a go at you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Go into you.
But 9 times out of 10, he'll put his arm around you. Where
Exactly.
Fergie might have not have done, but it's different. And he worked for Man U, so it's different. I'm not criticizing.
That's what I'm saying. It's a different relationship. I think everyone knows the relationship Ronaldo has with Ferguson.
Yeah, exactly.
He calls him like his second dad.
Yeah, exactly.
You have that bond.
And there were moments where Ronaldo was, I'm sure that I remember when he wasn't happy or whatever. But Ferguson, it was like not love-hate, but there was a moment where he had to reel him in.
Yeah,
and, you know, like bring him. I'll tell him who's covered something up. But yeah, like we were saying, in terms of Klopp, is that 9 times out of 10, he will put his arm around you.
Yeah.
Him being an actual physical presence helps in itself. Because he's like 6'3", 4" himself. He's massive. I think he's almost like Van Dijk's height.
Well, I think the main thing, is he brought a lot of people is the heavy metal German football.
Yeah.
To you guys.
Again, initially people were saying, would that work here? Even like Pep's football as well. Everyone's saying, sorry mate, your tiki-taka won't work here.
Is it a geo press in its
yeah, Gegen press,
Yeah,
Gegen press or Gegen press, something like that. And it was literally, if you look at even the game with Crystal Palace, where we won 4-0, most recent game, no fans, we were 4-0 up, 86th minute. Yeah. There's a Crystal Palace player on the byline. 3 players were surrounding him, and we're 4 up. We know we've won the league. Everything's done.
Yeah,
but absolutely,
that's die-hard attitude.
That is the attitude. That is
the club now,
and that is what makes me confident and makes me still have hope that Jurgen Klopp can still take us further. A lot of people obviously say, and rightly so, that can you defend your title? And it's obviously hard. Defending a title is a whole different story ball game to going to win one. But what Jurgen Klopp came out and said as well, he said, from my personal perspective, I will make sure these boys do not fall off. Obviously, it's going to be tough because it's going to be hard because they're champions. They've won everything they've won.
What you've got to understand now is you're the top target, you're top dogs now.
Yeah, everyone, we are the team.
Everyone wants to beat you.
Of course they do,
and this is the next step. And I think, so I've got a few questions that I'll spring on you that I'm going to ask you this thing. So, do you think you can retain the title?
Oh, God. I think we'll win the league next season, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I think we'll win the league next season. I think, again, I'll let you, I'll come back to you finish your questions as well. I didn't even know you would have sprung this up on me, actually. God, he just told me these now. Bloody yeah, what do you even plan on this? But yeah, it won't be 20 points. It will be City and I'd say United would push next season.
I think it's going to be very interesting, man. I think you're going to have 4 good sides.
Chelsea as well.
Chelsea in there.
Yeah. So I think we'll win it.
I'm excited for next season.
I can't wait for it.
I really am.
But I think we'll be a lot closer.
That's what makes me excited. Because I know we're not going to be anywhere near this competition, but I want to see a league where it comes down to the final day and there can be like 3 teams.
Yeah.
That would be so good to see. I think so. Would you change any other players to your squad? I know we touched on.
What do you mean by that?
So, would you make any signings? Would you?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. I'd bring in. So obviously, with the whole pandemic, and it's obviously put a lot of clubs in financial strain. The clubs with the most of the global support, and obviously they've got like Manchester United have said, they've come out and said they're quite strong. Man City are probably going to be quite strong. Well, even Pep said they're not going to spend a lot.
No.
It might be a ploy, if you like.
Chelsea are just doing whatever.
Chelsea are doing whatever they want to do with. But then again, Eden Hazard was sold and they didn't replace him with a ban. So the money was
sure, they got money in reserves, but
a little bit, but even
Abramovich, 300 million, I think.
Ridiculous amount of money. But like we said, we are playing it. We've seen how the market plays out. What I would do is bring in a backup left back. Because when Robbo doesn't play, I mean, on right back, I think we've got Nico Williams or even Milner can play there sometimes.
Yeah.
But left back, I would like a backup left back. Doesn't have to be. I quite like Jamal Lewis at not Norwich.
Oh yeah.
Again, not a player that you probably would have thought I would have mentioned. Norwich look destined for relegation.
Yeah.
Can't see him being more than about 20 million at tops.
Yeah.
So I'd like a backup left back, and I'd like a backup winger, because when the front three,
Shaqiri's meant to be going.
yeah, because exactly, that's exactly what I'm saying. That exactly, because if he goes, I'd like to have a backup
come in.
Obviously, Timo Werner was potentially one of them, but obviously going to Chelsea. But I'd like a backup, quite a decent one. I haven't quite thinking to myself now of who really, but someone that can play if one of them get injured. So I'd probably do that. But next summer, I would like to bring in a big name player who can really push for the front three. Yeah, exactly. Either Salah or whoever it might be.
Okay, and
push.
one final question.
Go for it.
If you had to lose one of them,
The front three.
who would you lose and why?
Oh God. This is so tough because, all right, I'll just sum it up as well. I wouldn't lose Bobby Firmino.
I think he's the key one out of
He
the two.
is the
front
actual system. He is what makes our team click. When he doesn't play, Mane and Salah haven't got a clue almost like how to play. He drops in, plays those balls across, they're gone. They're almost like two strikers coming in, if you like, with their pace as well. So no chance it'll be him. All right, I'm going to be dead serious now. I'd lose Sadio Mane.
Really?
Yes.
See, that's the one I wouldn't.
You're surprised by that. And I'll tell you why I say that. I have this thing, and even like from a personal perspective as well, I have this love for Mo Salah.
Yeah.
But I must admit, by the way, out of the front three, he's the one I think will be the one that goes,
I think
or
so.
Klopp even thinks reluctantly lets him go out of the front three. But from my perspective,
You'd let Mane go.
I would let Mane go. But I think he's, like you said, for me, he's player of the season. I mean, we even mentioned it on our.
I think it'll be either him or De Bruyne will be my player of the year.
Yeah, that's what.
De Bruyne has been
phenomenal. Yeah,
He's
phenomenal.
proven he is. I think.
He's the best midfielder in the world. I think
He's probably the best player in the Premier League.
Oh yeah, I think he is. Yeah, I'd say overall player, he's the best player.
Different level.
I'd say
Did you see Steve Bruce's thing the other day?
Oh, did I send it to you? That's
Yeah.
Yeah, where he's like, he's not going.
He's
He's staying
staying
here. He's not going anywhere. He's staying here. Yeah, sign the contract here. There you go. I've not said, but I like that. But that's personality. That
Exactly.
Bruce wasn't even scared to do that, because sometimes you get yourself in trouble, like, or tapping up. But let's be honest. But then again, Newcastle with a takeover,
Billionaires now.
potentially, Bruce has played it coy there, isn't he? He's been clever. But yeah, like I said, I would lose Sadio Mane, because they're all 28 now, which is brilliant age in terms of peak age. But even though he's been phenomenal, and a lot of people would agree with me, I'd like to hear all your opinions actually. So whoever watches this as well, and please do watch it, please DM me and tell me of who you think, or do you disagree, or if you agree. And a lot of people have not said Sadio Mane. But like I say, Mo Salah's goal involvement, assist and goal scored are ridiculous. In fact, I compared it. If you see the first 101 games at Manchester United for Cristiano Ronaldo and Mo Salah, he's got, I think, about 6 goals more than him and about 10 more assists than him. So, and like I say, again, in the game, in the moment, you almost think like he's not that important, but he's so vital for us. So I would potentially let Sadio Mane go. I'd love to keep them all. I wouldn't, like I said, right now, someone said to me, I think Tom at the TJ coach on Insta, he said, who would you lose at the front there? And I might have even said Mo Salah then. I said I would have Jadon Sancho as a replacement. But even then I said to him right now, he even asked me, would you sell one of them right now? I said no. This season I wouldn't. I won't do it. But reluctantly, if it happened, it would be Mane that I'd reluctantly let go. But I see Mo Salah being the one that goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're very close to that, Mark, so I'll let you have your final remarks if you have.
Yeah. I'll let you close it up, but
course,
just want to say quickly as well. I'll be honest with you, I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Like, it's been 30 years. I'm 23. I've never seen my team win the title. My dad was 23 when Liverpool last won a title. The same age as Klopp when Liverpool last won a title. So both were 23. Dad's 53 now. He didn't, growing up as well, he didn't think he'd wait 30 years to see his team. Because at 23, he saw Liverpool in the title about 10, 12 times already in 23 years. So he did not think it'd be 30 years. And this is the one which we've been wanting for so long. Well, for all our life, even school days. I think we spoke about this all the time, about winning the title and all this. And in school days, Man United were the team. City were coming up. Chelsea were there.
Chelsea won it a few times.
Chelsea won a few times, but United were like the big boys, weren't
big
they?
Boys, yeah.
And Ferguson was still there. And United, and not a jealousy kind of thing. It was just like an acceptance that they're great. which United fans probably need to accept as well. But right now, I've not seen anyone more bitter than them. Like the reaction as well.
It's a rivalry thing. I think,
but I understand.
I think it'd be very the same if Spurs started winning.
Yeah, you'd hate it. Wouldn't you?
It's one of them things. I think.
Yeah, but like I said, from my personal opinion as well, like I said, it's the best thing. I'll be honest with you, when we win, when we actually get the title given to us and lifted, I think it's been pushed back now because Chelsea have made the FA Cup semi-final, so it's been pushed back maybe to a midweek game against Chelsea at Anfield. Well, we'll obviously finally get given the title. That'll be emotional. But from me here today, like I say, I'll be honest with you, I could have gone on for a lot more. Talk about every single individual player and go on about their season they've had.
Exactly.
And I'm glad, and I just want to say thank you to Charles as well for giving. We actually spoke about this briefly and said, could we do a special? It's very relevant right now as well. And I wanted to fit this in, and I thought, what better than to do a special of just me and you, and just talk about the success that we've had. But yeah, I'm getting a bit emotional. I'll let you close up, mate.
Like I was saying, it's a special. I said we'd always do this, and it's an honour to sort of be able to do this. We've always spoke about this growing up at school and etc. And I think more than anything, we're saying is we're 12 episodes in now for this podcast, and it's just
come a long way, isn't it?
Growing up,
that's 3 months of.
It's growing up. And I said we started this in the lockdown, and it's growing up. And thank you all so much for the support you guys have been showing us. We've literally hit 500 followers.
I think well over 500 now.
I think it's about 550 now.
550, yeah.
That means I can't say much. The world to us that our little idea we've had here is expanding. We've got people from America that are following us, and I think it's something we were doing Instagram Live the other day. People we've never even spoken to before saying, "Look, here they are."
I think we had an Insta Live, didn't we? I think we'll go on a little bit, just a bit longer as well. We had an Insta Live on the Chelsea game, I think it was, and someone commented saying the boys are back, or the boys are here.
For us, that is
the two boys.
Yes.
So it's like we're known already, and I'm not saying it just makes us feel.
It's the humbling feeling. And that's what I'm saying. I say thank you all for your support.
Ridiculous.
And if you guys ever want to hear any episodes, any ideas, please just follow us on Instagram. Shout out Twitter, Facebook. We're on all of them. We're always open to suggestions, any collabs. Drop us information. We're happy to do specials. We've
done a couple already. Obviously, we've done the Don's Action, which was out last week.
Yeah.
We also had the one with Elliot Hughes and Tom on. So we've
Yeah.
had 3 guest specials already. But we want to have.
And we got a lot of ideas.
A lot more. And we do.
So many ideas.
Yeah. And I think me and Charles, and I'm a credit to him as well, actually. He's the one that initially came up to me and said to me one day, and I think we've even spoke about this, said like, what would you think about doing this?
Yeah.
And initially I was, not even initially, straight away, I think I told you straight away I'd love to do it. There wasn't even I'll get back to you, was it? It was straight away like, 100%, let's do it. And that just obviously reunited a friendship that we've had for many years. And it for more than anything, it was that. And then this is just something that we love so much. And now to get people that love it so much.
And that's the main thing, it's
ridiculous.
Football is one of them things that has so many opinions, but everyone comes together.
Yeah.
And that's one thing we want to try and do.
Yeah.
I know we're going on, but I was just touching, I think next week's episode, obviously this month, as when it's come out, it's June the 30th, so it's the last day, but this month was Pride Month.
Yes.
It's something special. I know a few people in my friends who are gay, and that sort of thing, so it means a lot to me, and I think next week we want to sort of touch on it a little bit. Troy Deeney come out and said it as well, is why within football there's a stigma that there is no gay footballers.
And what, because in rugby, I think we'll do an episode.
That will be maybe next week's episode, which we're talking about it. So please look out for that. It'll be a very special episode to look out for as well. And one other idea we've got a few more, but coming up, a lot more to come. Absolutely. So much more to come. But for this week, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys next week.